So my update from
Oh
MD
yeah, sorry.
Mr. Chair, who's recording?
There is,
already recorded.
Oh, okay, all right, result. Yes, yes, yes.
okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so my
All
update.
right.
Okay, my update is from MD7.1. This is from the partnership with the developer. So Thomas, the one that refer from Sue, replied us with the rejection letter, and I think I'm going to move it to Dan because he said that they already have property management teams on their side. Okay, Jing.
I wrote back to him. I
Okay.
wrote back to him with a pivot. I said, "Would you like to get some buyers because we have property owners, right?"
Okay.
So I thought maybe I'm going on a long shot here, right? I'm going on maybe the property developer would have like to have access to our owners. We have 180 owners, right? And some of them have quite a lot of money that they would like to invest. So maybe we can work that angle.
And the output is
The output is, let's say we can get a agency agreement with the developer, and we could start selling their properties in Indonesia. It's a long shot, right? It's kind of like this could work. It's the idea of a new particular thing. But let's see how far it goes. There's nothing to lose, so I decided to just give that a shot. I wrote back to Thomas and I wrote him that.
okay. Okay. Then.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe I'll be. Let's see. How is the experiment from Jing on this card?
Sure.
And that's it from MD7.1. My update is from MD7.23. It's I don't have any update from this because no one's replying, and it's on the due date is to, and I think I will move it to done with on the MD7.2 and 7.3, and I will MD7.1 I will put it here until I see Jing's update. That's from me, and continuing to MD 8.0, Research on Home Owners Association. So I messaged Nai. I get his number from Jing, and Nai is willingly to talk with us, and I'm scheduling for Monday 5 p.m. And let's see what if whether he is ready or not. And also I found out about Bali Villa Association. It's likely homeowners, but it's Bali Villas. And my game plan is to understand the organization and maybe enter the organization, and maybe to create a webinar because I see that they also like create the webinar for the member of the organization. I already contact the contact person of the Facebook group via WhatsApp, and I will update if if he already replies or not. And that's all from me. Back to Mr. Chair.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Aldo. That's great. Okay. Let's moving on to champion label by me, so we can uncheck Aldo's level and check my level. Okay, so my update is um, oh, oh, sorry, I haven't give the label. Wait, guys, wait. Sorry, I give the label. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the card is MC 3.6 about CSC checklist ads to generate inquiry. So basically, this is a new pivot from the Facebook, the CSC video campaign on Facebook by Andre. So I pivot this card. So basically, the CSC video campaign is not really working. After 1 week launch, we only get one inquiry, and we need to pivot another method. So the intended result of this card is attract more potential partners to make inquiry from 1 per week to 3 per week, and we can persuade them to join our program and perhaps make a partnership as well. And my hypothesis is by the give the free COVID-19 cleaners checklist to property owners will more attract the more attract them rather than the video campaign, and we will boost the post by using Facebook ads. And the KPI is hopefully get one property join our program and make partnership with us. And right now, the state is still creating the plan for this campaign. For I set for 1 week, and tomorrow I will create the post about the free COVID-19 cleanliness standard checklist. So yeah, this is the update for me. Okay, let's continue. Moving on to Hasbi, we can check the champion by Hasbi and uncheck mine. Okay, over to Hasbi.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So let me first begin by my MD.5 first interviews with property owners. So for this card, the usual, I've reached out to more people and just checked the responses, and so far no change. And the same is for my HR.1.3, and yeah, moving on to my initiative C, MC.8, SEO writing. So for this card, I'll move it over to Dan, and I will later join the RM Scrum, and I think I'll start a new card about the long-term villa rentals. That's all for me. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Hasbi. Thank you very much. That's great. And okay, let's moving on to champion by Jing.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So give me a second, I'll open my cards. Okay, my first card is actually my only card is with CNR Moss. I'm just checking the email and I've gotten no response back. It's been about, let's say, it's been about almost a week. So what I'll do today is I'll write today is actually Friday, probably not the best day to start a conversation. Okay, what I'll do is I've thought about the timing then. I'll write again back on Monday for a clarification on the time. So I believe this is a long shot anyway. I know we're probably not going to focus on developers, but let's see if we can get a conversation and see what maybe they can give us a little bit more insight. So that's it. That's my update.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. That's good. Okay, so let's continue. Over to champion by Mas Rizal. We can uncheck the Jinx label and check the Rizal label. Okay, over to Rizal.
Okay, thank you, Gani, for the floor. And okay, start from my initiative A. It's from card A.2.3, video ads to acquire property in Bali. Yeah, basically, the video is almost done, and if you want to see it, it already attached on the comment. And yeah, please watch it and please give a bit feedback. But the video will finish by today, and the arts will be launched by today too. And yeah, that's my update from this card, and move to R.4.2. Basically, yeah, previously, I have some change. Previously, instead of using type from to gain the contact, we decide to use in page form, and basically it's working. There is a one inquiry, partnership inquiry to us. Basically, it's from Patong Beach, a property in Patong Beach in Phuket, and I believe Wayan already follow up. And yeah, the change are working. Is I already record also. First is set up the Facebook pixel first and make it correct with the objective, and then use in page form is basically effective to reduce the audience to exit from that page. Yeah, I think that's all from this card. And maybe offer to Mawayan for the leads itself. It is get back to us, or
Um, Actually, I already sent an email. I checked the email today, haven't get back to me. But I'm planning to like give a call, like to have like simple conversation because I know email is like taking time kind of conversation. So since I have the number, I will call by today, and then we just want to figure out like um, what uh, what they see, what they expect,
Mm.
and to understand like our ad as well.
Yeah.
That's it from me.
Okay, thank you, Mak Wayan. And if I may please record also the your conversation, the point of your conversation in the paper, yeah, so
Okay,
we can learn from your
sure,
conversation.
sure.
Okay, thank you, Mak Wayan. And move to initiative E. So basically, I create a new card, E.1.0, optimize the MMP page to maximize the conversion rate. Yeah, basically, previously we have a better formula to gaining audience from online ads, which is for Facebook ads to reaching the Thailand audience. But the friction is ratio between click from ads to inquiry conversion is very high, which is 200 something divided by one. So there's a lot of number. And also the hypothesis is based on a Ganesh interview with another member. The page doesn't have clarity about our business model. Example, the business model of BV is not clear and how it could help my business. Yeah, basically I want to fix that page. And my um and my key success indicator is reduce the ratio number. And also the this page will help for the WordPress page for the next page to get better performance also. Yeah, I think that's all from me. And yeah, back to Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Manjusal, for the update. That's great. And okay, let's moving on to champion by Wayana. We can check the label and uncheck the results label. Okay, over to Mo.
Mr. Chair, so actually, I'm planning I'm planning to fit my paper start today. Actually, I just preparing the paper, and I think I will to discuss with Rizal today because I have the will prepare the paper like as last time we have discussion making the card. So I want to double check like if my preparation is what you call like it's good like in marketing what it's look good as to post because like my writing is not good and maybe I can just give I basically talking a brainstorm like what is the best word. So I have the word, but I might not the best. But I will to have like a sub discussion with Rizal rather in the afternoon.
Okay, okay, that's really great, Mo.
Yeah,
Semangat. we wait for the update for next week, yeah. Okay.
yeah. So I just put paper like put this in the end. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mo.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it for the Trello update. Okay, before we jump to the discussion management paper, I'd like to choose the next chairperson. The next chairperson will be Mas Rizal, and then secretary will be Hasbi, and the recorder will be me. Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's jump into discussion management paper. Okay, here we go. Yes. Okay, so um, I see there is one, two, three, four, the most important topics that I'd like to discuss. Okay, so first is on the top uh, under the long-term brand audit on the proposed marketing SLA first. Okay, so on the previous meetings, we all already agree that we take a deadline that today is the deadline for the SLA and KPI marketing chapter. Okay, so let's discuss together. Probably I will offer this discussion to offer to Mas Rizal. So, so yeah, Mas Rizal, please. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Char. Yeah, basically, um, you see, this is the purpose of our marketing SLA to company, and yeah, based the SLA based on the in each initiative, and probably I will move to Aldo first, probably to explain his SLA and also the KPI.
So thank you, Mas Rizal, for the time. So the SLA is to discover the potential partner using professional networking, and also to convert the potential audience to business meeting. And I think from Mas Gani's brand awareness confirm meeting with market developer, we can move it to my SLA. I think because it's more
Oh,
uh,
confirm meeting itu ya.
yeah. Why do you put it there, Mas Gani?
Because the point, the goal of the raising brand awareness itself is to get inquiry, and after that we set the business.
Okay then. Okay then. So okay, I think that's it for the SLA, and also the KPI is my KPI is to have five discussion converted and one potential new lead. But also I want to add some qualitative KPI to like to measure the impact. But don't really I can't really think of an idea right now. So maybe if anyone could help me on that qualitative, because I think that I want to have uh, like discovery ideas on the KPI, but I can really link it to the KPI itself.
Qualitative. Uh, Sorry, Aldo, can you repeat once more? What is the qualitative?
On ideas and discovery. So
Sorry, Aldo.
let me just try that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, I think we can move first to Mas Gani about your
Okay,
SLA.
okay. So my SLA to raising business brand awareness is generate building a brand awareness itself, and then generate inquiry, and the last is confirm meeting with market developer. And the KPI itself is page view on Facebook and website, and I don't set the number yet. And the next is on post engagement, and third is number of inquiry, and last is number of confirmed meeting. So, but I don't set the number yet. Sorry. Okay, offer to Jing.
Yes. First thing I want to actually ask for from the chair is I took a look at this already. I think we're going to need a little bit more time today, and I do want to get it done today. So I want to actually propose at about 15 more minutes to the regular sync up. I'm going to give one piece of advice. All right. Question. And this I want to make this a learning experience also, so that everyone kind of understands how this is built, so that we can be more comfortable innovating our SLAs. All right. My first question is this: who created this table?
Me.
Raise your hand if you. All right. Good. Good. Okay. Thank you. All right. And who was the first person, Gani, that you saw write a entry into the table, Gani?
Mm, 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 mm. I decided that the first is initiative, and then person in charge.
Oh, right. Right. But who started filling out the table? Was it you, Gani, or did somebody else fill out the table?
Um,
was Rizal, yeah?
First me, and then Mas Rizal.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you a question, which is, does an SLA have a number attached to it? Over to Rizal.
I think no, sir. No.
Okay, all right.
No,
Check.
no.
Let's double check. Aldo, what does SLA stand for?
SLA stands
Yeah.
for
Okay, Gunny, help Aldo, right? What does SLA stand for?
Service level agreement.
Right, it's a service level agreement, okay? And let's go over to Tara. Tara, if you have an agreement with a service level agreement, can we create an SLA without numbers?
Could you maybe rephrase the question?
Okay. Can you have a service level agreement with somebody without having a number attached to it?
Right. I guess the service level is like you, because I don't know if I fully understood the concept, but like.
Okay, good. All right, we're here. We're in pre understanding of the concept, and let's go to Haspi real quick. Haspi, can we have a service level agreement if we don't have a number attached to it?
I think I'm with Tara on this one. I don't fully
Okay.
understand. Yeah.
Okay, let's make sure we understand before we go into a discussion. That's step one. My VCL, right? All right, we need to make sure that people get this. I want to make this as clear and clean as possible, right? Let's just imagine a very simple case of a service. Let's say water and electricity. Okay, water and electricity are services that we consume every day. What is the main KPI, Haspi, for good water and electricity service? What would be your KPI to measure this is great, this is not so great, this is terrible water or electricity service? Over to Haspi.
I would say perhaps reliability and how they measure the rates.
Exactly. Okay, reliability. So availability. How often is it available? There's 168 hours in a week. How many hours does the water and electricity actually run? If it runs 168 hours a week, that is 100% reliable. If the water and electricity run only 100 hours a week, then you can imagine how frustrating that is. For 68 hours a week, you have no water, no electricity, right? So your KPI is reliability or availability, right? Which gives us essentially a metric of how available is it across every hour of the week. And then your SLA is how much percent availability do you have? Do you have 99% availability, which means that 99% of the time you turn on the water and electricity and it works? Do you have 100% availability, which means that 100% of the time you turn on the electricity, it works? Or do you have like 10% electricity, water, only when you try it, only 10% of it works? Then that allows you to even just imagine what the service level looks like, right? Imagine if the power only turned on once every 10 times you tried it, right? It's like, oh, it doesn't work, oh, it doesn't work, oh, it finally works. It's almost useless, right, at 10% SLA. But if it's at 99% SLA, it's still kind of frustrating. It means that a few hours of the week, the power will just go out, right? And you'll be like, God damn it, I was working on something. So that is a demonstration of an SLA, okay? It's about like how to quantify that particular service in a measurable way. We are actually, believe it or not, we're running services all across the entire company. We're kind of a service-oriented, we're not creating products for people, right? Or some people are, like let's say Aldo and Vidi and Bayou, they're creating products. When we rate a product quality, how do we usually rate it? Like if we rate, like let's say this, the KPI for a product, right? KPI for a product might be the weight, the durability, maybe, I don't know, some other things that are physical attributes of that product. But when we rate a service, it's a little bit more less tangible, right? What is it that makes great service great? Is it reliability? Is it a certain amount of output? Is it a certain amount of efficiency? That's how you would start thinking about the service, okay? All right, what we're seeing here in this table on SLA is not an SLA. These are services, right? You guys are writing each service of what you intend to do. The KPI is not a KPI either. The okay. Gani has KPIs, right? Gani has KPIs. Aldo has an SLA because he's taking the KPIs and he's delivering a set of quantifiable metrics to it, right? But the problem with Aldo's KPI right now, if I may, Aldo, right, is that it does not have a rate, right? You have one potential new lead. How often? Every day, every hour, every week, right? So your KPI is incomplete. 5 discussion converted. When? Every time out of 10, every time out of 15. So we need to know a rate, right? So it's usually one number divided by another number. It's some sort of ratio, okay? So Gani has KPIs, but he has no SLA. Aldo has kind of an SLA, but it's not over a frequency. We don't know how often we're going to get this. So Aldo needs to put in a frequency. Rizal has kind of a SLA, but he wrote it in the KPI section, right? He has an SLA. He wants to bully, okay, he has a $50 budget to get 20 unique clicks, 5 new leads, but he doesn't have a rate either. When? How often? This is just an efficiency, right? This is how much he'll spend versus how much he will produce. That's good. Okay, that's one term of efficiency. So what you really want is actually you want to have more result of a rate. You're looking to get essentially 4 clicks per dollar, right? And you're getting $10 per lead, right? But the next dimension is how often will you do this, right? Like, will you do this every week? Will you do this every month? What is, you have a budget SLA. Now you need a time SLA too as well. How often will this happen? So we need to see these 2 dimensions. An SLA takes your output and divides it by your input, right? Your input is time, budget, skill, whatever. Your output is some sort of result. So take that output divided by the input and you get your SLA. Does that start making sense for everyone? All right, great. So Aldo is going to put in his 1 week of time into getting us this particular thing. Okay, we know the output, but how long will it take, right? Gani is going to get page views and post engagement, number of inquiries, and convert meetings. Great. What's his input? Is it just organic content? Is it whatever? Like, is it ads? I don't know about that yet. It could be I aim to get 50 engagements on every organic post I put, and I'm going to post 3 times, and I aim to get this once a week, right? Then we know what the inputs are and we know what the outputs are. Okay, so kind of there, but not quite. So let's refine it. First thing I need to have happen is we change the word SLA into services. So let's get that first done, right? Maybe I'll delegate that to my VCL. Okay, result. Let's go ahead and get that changed. Let's turn SLA into services. And the next part is, if we're going to have these services, how will we measure this service's benefit, the service's net output? Okay, discovering, I'm looking at Aldo's first. Discovering potential partners using professional networking. Great. So the output should be potential new leads. Great. Okay, that sounds reasonable, right? That sounds like the output that we want. But what is the consumption time? So let's go back to Aldo. Aldo, we can probably do this right away. We probably don't need, Rizal, not service, services. Pelayanan, yeah, services, yeah. Okay, the next part is we have KPI. We can just go directly to the SLA because the KPIs are embedded in the SLAs, right? The KPIs are what we measure. The SLAs is how much do we measure to gain success, okay? So I think what we can do next is we substitute the word KPI for SLA because we have the KPIs already. All right, so we're gonna go and result. Let's change KPIs to SLA. No. It's not service level agreement. This is still services. Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. That's the way it should be. Next is we have the KPIs. The KPIs right now are discussion converted per. What time frame are you looking at, Aldo, when you wrote that? Is that discussion per week, discussion per day, or discussion per hour?
Per discussion per
Yeah. Right. So how do you want to measure that? 5 discussions converted per week, or 5 discussions converted per 10 discussions? What's the what's kind of like the ratio?
I'm thinking of per 2 weeks or per month, but I think the better way is to per how many discussions, how many outreach that we get. I think it's better.
Oh, okay. So an outreach to discussion to meeting ratio, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that is your KPI now, right? The idea of an outreach to meeting ratio is your KPI. Okay, so Mr. Secretary Rizal, let's go outreach divided by meeting. So we reach out to 100 people, we get 20 meetings, then that means we have a 20%, let's say, conversion rate, right? That could be one of the, okay, outreach to meeting ratio. Okay, great. So then let's go ahead and eliminate the top part because the top part is confusing. 5 discussion converted outreach. So Mr. Secretary, let's go ahead and delete the first bullet point and just keep the second bullet point. All right, so yes, and please include the word ratio to there as well so that we have like a idea of what this means. Okay, this is a ratio. Great. All right, now we need an SLA. We need a target, okay? And this where, Aldo, you need to do some research. You need to go back and look at what your numbers have been. How many outreaches did you go through and what is your success rate? How many people actually converted to meetings? Because when you make up a number, let's make sure this number makes sense. What I would do is I would go, all right, I aim to be 10% better than I was last week. That's a good service level agreement. That's like, you know, challenging yourself. So let's say Aldo goes back. He counts the total number of outreach. He did 200 outreach. And then he counts the total number of meetings. He had 20 meetings. So Aldo's at a 10% conversion rate today. But Aldo's not content being where he is today. He wants to get better at this because he wants to improve his outreach capability. So then Aldo says, I'm at a 10%, but I want to be 10% better than 10%. So I'm going to try for an 11% outreach, right? Or maybe he wants to be 25% better. So then he goes a 12.5% conversion rate, whatever it is, right? So then he can set a percentage goal on top of his regular goal and say, that's my goal. Aldo will try this for a few weeks. He'll be like, whoa, okay, all right, this is easy. I can easily maintain 11%. Then that becomes, let's say, your new SLA, right? You're comfortable with this. You can reliably deliver 11%. So you're an 11%er. Let's say, for example, it doesn't work any better and you go down to, let's say, 10% again, and you consistently deliver at 10%. That becomes your new SLA. Aldo can deliver at a 10% conversion rate, right? 200 outreach, 20 people will convert into meetings. So that's how you figure it out, okay? So you got to go back, Aldo. You got to go see what your statistics are, your success statistics, and then that becomes part of your SLA. So you have that particular set. Okay, great. So we have then a efficiency, okay? The next part is we need how much activity we're going to put in, okay? So if Aldo has a 20% or let's say a 10% efficiency, right? He can get 10% of the leads to convert into meetings. Then you need to ask yourself the next question. How many meetings become potential leads? Maybe only 50% of that, okay? So maybe Aldo targets 50% of the meetings that we talk to. We want them to actually develop into leads where we were able to pitch them and get them to sign up for Bukit Vista. Okay, so then let's say Aldo has checked his statistics and he says, well, currently it's at 0% and that, you know, is terrible. So I'm going to aim for my first SLA target of 10%. 10% of the people that I send for meetings are going to become leads. So Aldo looks at his stats. He's got 20 people coming in for meetings. 10% of that is 2. Okay, so he's got 2 people that are coming in. Okay, so then he establishes, all right, whatever I'm going to do at this stage is going to get a 10% conversion rate, and I want a ratio of meeting to leads at 10%. Okay, now the final part, right, the macro. How many leads do you want to bring in a week or a month? So then you can kind of estimate it. If you get 20% of people to come in, right, or if you get, 10% of people come in for the meetings, then 10% of that becomes a lead. Then that tells you how much activity you need to generate each week, right? So if you're looking to get, let's say, 1 meeting a week, and you get 10% times, you get 10% times 10%, that's 1%, right? Then you need to, let's say, reach out to 100 outreach a week in order to get 1 potential lead. Does that make sense? Right? Because we have, let's say, ... So now you're defining all your SLAs very well. You're starting with how much activity, how much do you intend to convert in the first stage, how much do you intend to convert in the second stage, and finally, what is your final macro KPI? What is your end output? Your end output is 1 converted deal a week or 2 converted deals a week. But this is where you start like actually being able to kind of improve your stuff. If you want to get that to that SLA, you can improve, let's say, one of your KPIs, right? You can improve your conversion rate. Let's say instead of getting 20%, you get 50% of the people to show up. Then you don't need to do so much activity to then generate your end goal, right? Or let's say you're unable to convert very well, so then you just need to pump up your activity numbers. You need to reach out to way more people so that you get that 1 person at the end of each week. Okay, so that's how you develop your SLAs. You develop smaller internal SLAs for yourself, but your end SLA is that 1 meeting a week. Make sense? Okay, all right, great. So you can apply that now to everybody, right? Let's say, for example, Gani is going about the same business. Gani wants to get leads per week too, because that's the ultimate SLA we want. We want to get people in here. So Gani has a few things that he can decide. Gani's working on brand awareness. Maybe there's things that he can do to improve other people's brand awareness, right? For example, Aldo. Aldo's doing outreach, but maybe the outreach isn't successful because people are not brand aware about Bukit Vista, right? So he has a low conversion rate from outreach to meeting. Perhaps Gani thinks, I can get that. I can help you, Aldo, with that statistic. If everybody within this Southeast Asia knew about Bukit Vista and we proposed a meeting with them, they would sign up for a meeting. We could get that number up to 50%. That could be one way that you deliver service as a brand awareness. Your SLA is to improve other people's conversion, right? So if I'm targeting ads to, let's say, Jakarta property developers, and I'm confident that these are being seen by Jakarta property developers, then when Aldo goes out and he pitches to Jakarta property, he does outreach, he starts all of a sudden seeing an improvement. He doesn't get 10% response, he gets 50% response or 80% response back. So 80% makes it into a meeting. That's one way that brand awareness can help somebody else's SLA. Let's say, for example, Rizal's ads. When Rizal publishes an ad, that itself is a type of brand awareness, but maybe there's other points of brand awareness that would lead to better ads. As Vivek told us in the very beginning, he said that when Airbnb first started, when they ran ads, nobody responded to it because they didn't know what the hell Airbnb was. So Airbnb did some PR, they got their name out through government agencies and travel organizations, and that improved the brand awareness of Airbnb, and then that brought more success to the ads when they ran those ads, right? Back to what Vivek Wagel was telling us. So Gani has a decision to make. Does he want to support other people, or does he want actually brand awareness by itself to do the same thing as what Aldo is doing? Does he believe that brand awareness by itself will lead to converted inquiries? That's a decision that Gani is going to have to look at, right? So how often have I been able to impact conversion? How often have I been able to impact actual meetings through brand awareness? So that's how Gani would look at it. Same statistics, you're right. How do you get more page views? How do you get more post engagement? Those are your things. But ultimately, you're also looking to, all right, what is your input? Is your input blogging? Is your input like whatever it is? In general, it's time. It's how many impressions per week, how much reach per week, how much conversion per week, right? Number of inquiries per week. But you might need micro SLAs inside to tell you what's going on there. All right, data-driven marketing to direct marketing objectives. This probably is the same as what Gani would be doing, right? So this would be improving other people's ratios. So if we're using more data-driven, it's not an end goal by itself. Data-driven decisions does not help us directly convert into more leads, but it can help getting the ratios better. Let's say Aldo sees that he's at a 10% ratio. Data-driven decision-making can help us. Well, Aldo, what seems to be the problem is that you are focusing on the incorrect audience or at the wrong time. So we've been able to improve this using the data. So please try doing this. Aldo picks up those, and then he's able to get incredible new results, right? He's like, whoa, I'm getting like 50% conversion now. So that's one of the things that data-driven data services will be able to help. They're not an end goal. They are an auxiliary goal to help other people with their ratios, okay? I think Rizal, okay, Rizal, you got it. You got essentially the idea, but we also need to know how often this will happen. Back again. So let us know what your timing is. How many leads per week? How many clicks per week? So that we get clarity on that. All right, next to Wayana. Wayana is taking all this lead action that everybody is bringing, right? And she's going to convert it into deals. She's going to convert all these into actual property partnerships. So the only thing we should actually see is partnerships, right? Partnerships per week. So it's kind of like a baseball team. You guys got to get to first base, second base, third base, and then Wayana has to get everything back home. Now this is a pretty big responsibility because the culmination of all the work and all the efficiency eventually lands on Wayana's ability to take these leads and convert them into actual deals. But this is also where the data might help. This is also where like her persuasion skills might help. And her services are essentially persuading owners, our potential prospects, to become partners, right? That's the service that she's actually running. She's converting meetings to partners, convert the inquiry to scheduled meetings. Babe, do you do that? You turn leads into meetings?
Pardon me?
You turn leads into meetings? So you don't get meetings. Your input is inquiries.
Oh yeah. So basically, at the state at the month, so if result get a number or email, so I will do like follow up with them. And
okay.
So my goal is like want to be converted to like a partnership. So
I see.
So I'm doing the inquiry and the meeting, the proposal, the entire stack. Yeah.
Okay, let's go up a little bit because I believe also Aldo is also working on getting meetings too, right? So what I'm wondering is why are like this is kind of a little bit like, okay, there's two people working on the same bucket trying to get meetings, right? Is there maybe a way that Aldo can improve his own SLA? Can Aldo work on getting meetings and then Wayana work on getting the meetings into partnerships? Would that be cleaner? Because you both are working on the same SLA now.
I can do.
Okay. That I'll let you guys decide, right? Okay, so I said enough, and now I want to watch you guys play. I want to see how you guys will create this. So back over to the chair for continuation. Over to Gani.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the guidance. I think it's a pretty long discussion, and I think it's not enough time to discuss right now. And I propose to continue discuss the SLA on the next scrum. And for today and tomorrow, probably me, Rizal, and Aldo, and Wayana will have some discussion and like private discussion. And then on the next scrum, we explain again with more complete structure. Okay, I think yes, over to Mo.
Okay, before I forget, actually, will be helpful for me if I can see the data like the outreach to ratio and then the percentage of that, and then I can have some discussion with Aldo so that what he's pitching in the beginning, so that I can continue to what you call to continue the conversation without like
Mm,
missing out some part of it
I see.
because like
Yeah,
need
yeah.
continuous things. So maybe with Aldo,
Yes.
we can have some discussion
Yeah.
a bit to understand like the workflow that you have, what you're pitching, and then when I can help or I can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Over
For
to
me,
Aldo. Would you can you give the information to Mark by today?
Sure, like I'll do this have discussion with Mo Oyan.
Okay, fantastic. That's great. Thank you, Aldo. Thank you, Mak Wayana, for the
yeah.
talk. Okay. We will continue on to next round. Okay. Okay. Let's moving on to the next thread is from Mas Rizal, canvassing through OTA and active method.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. Yeah, basically, yeah, previously we have a canvassing method, but we use a Facebook group and also Facebook ads. But it's like we passive, right? And we like waiting for the inquiry from the audience. But right now, I want to discuss with you uh, how effective using canvassing through OTA, which is this is active method. So it's like canvassing offline, but it's through OTA. Basically, that method that I want to discuss is sending inquiry through their reservation using probably our new profile, and then use message the message using analyze their listing performance or based on their area. The message is like I attach on the attachment. This basically analysis from Jing about um, belly floating leaf, I believe. And yeah, I think that message is quite clever and promising to pitch the audience, and then also attach our contact or link for meeting. So it's like if you want discuss more, please schedule meeting with us. And it's I think it's very I don't know. I think it's more effective rather than we waiting or answer the inquiry, but the the progress is not very impactful. Yeah, I think that's all for me and open for discussion.
Understand, Mas Rizal. Okay, so let's discuss together about the canvassing through OTA, the active method. Okay, so for my perspective, I would like to use the funnel like Jim said. First, we use audience, message, timing, and channel. For the audience itself, okay, we would like to finding property through OTA like Airbnb, right? But what type of property that we will find? What how like a villa or beachfront or in the middle of jungle or yeah.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I think I need pros pros and cons first. This method is it is a spam or it is possible to we do for the next action. If it's everyone is agree and everyone is pro, so we can discuss onto the audience selection and also message selection.
So you need apa ya something like clarification gitu ya. Oke.
Yeah.
Approval gitu ya. Oke. Over to the floor. I will start asking for Hasbi. Okay, Hasbi, what do you think about this project? It sounds good, or it's like spam, or what do you think?
Um, can
Um,
I'll pass first. I will see what other people say first.
okay, okay. Or do you a bit confused yeah about this method yeah? Okay. Over to Aldo first. And then, Aldo, what do you think, Aldo?
So this method is we are just like making an inquiry, but the message is that we want to have a partnership, that we want to manage their property.
Mhm.
I think it's a little bit of a spam when we
Okay.
are messaging to their inquiry, but maybe using another channel, maybe I don't know if Airbnb link their account to on your profile they link their account. If they link their account, we can message it through that channel. And I think it's good, but the channel is I'm not certain that we if we message the people on the inquiry side.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, that's great, Aldo. Okay, then over to Mokoyana. What do you think?
I think this one it's can be considered as a spam, but it depends how many times you do it in a day. I suggest you use the new profile only because Airbnb can give you red flag if you have used the real account. It can be risk for our account. I suggest not using our account that active have our income. So I think it's you can figure out a couple things from like sending inquiry. If the owner like actually knew, it's hard to find like what the name of the property. But the property is old and then didn't get a booking like after a year. It could be the abandoned, the listing or chain owner. Sometimes you can get a hint from the guest review that the name of the place actually. So and then you can find the website or the Facebook. It's kind of have to be hustle in there, like finding the root. You kind of like you see the flower, but you need to find the root. Where's the leaf? Where is like to go down to the bottom. It can be done, but if you're looking at the Airbnb profile, just make sure like the one that you want it, and then have like high potential because this one is a lot of what you call tracing to do, so that it's worth your time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
like
Mhm.
either good area, either good price, either like service, like something have like what you call like high selling point of
Mhm.
its.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mo, for your thought. Over to Tara. Do you have any thought for this?
Just to be sure then, so this method is basically like how when somebody wants to book a place in Airbnb, you message them, right? So you want to use that like channel. Okay. Yeah, I agree that it may seem a bit spammy. If I were on the receiving end, I would just ignore it, not gonna lie, because I'd just be like, who's like, it's just like an advertisement. So, I mean, I think the channel's a bit like iffy, I guess, but maybe I guess maybe it's also the way the message is structured. Maybe I'm not sure how it can be restructured, but maybe if it can seem we can somehow just change it. I don't even have a suggestion for how, but then I think it could work. Like this could work. It's actually a pretty good idea, I think, but like the message cannot seem yeah, because it seems like an more like advertising right now. So it just seems like you just want to like promote yourself and like not everybody's into that. So yeah, those are my
Okay.
thoughts.
Okay, thank you, Tara, for your talk. Okay, I propose to extend 10 minutes more for this discussion because I think it is a pretty interesting topic and there is a good point to discuss more. And for the last talk from sorry Mo, kenapa?
I second that.
Okay, thank you Mo. Okay, for the canvassing through OTA, I offer to Jing. What your last thought, sir? Do you have any last thought?
Really great. Rizal, I think you've actually begun the first step in the right direction, which is this idea of is there another approach besides advertising to reach property owners? first consideration is who is on the opposite side of the OTA, right? It's probably a reservation person if it's a big organization. If it's a small organization, it might be the owner or a representative of the owner, right? So those are the two possible audiences that you can anticipate on the other side. If it is a big organization, it won't even be read, right? It will just be thrown in the spam box. The reservation person is there to answer reservations and attend to guest duties. So they probably will not pass this on to anybody else. Okay, that's gone. If it's a small organization, maybe, but chances are that there is a 50-50 chance. Some people might, well, that's helpful. Some people may be like, this is completely nonsense. It's like when Instagram people ask us for free accommodations. So you're gonna have to approach it, I think, in a wise way. So don't do Airbnb for us because that gets our accounts blocked, and that is not never worth that type of exchange, right? A 50-50 is not worth to get our account blocked. So if you want to do it on a booking or some other thing, okay, do it sparingly. Maybe do 5 first and see what your response rate is. If you get a very good response rate, then it's not spam, right? Because you know that, hey, look, 80% of people really want my services. They prefer talking to me than to an actual guest. So I would do that as an MVP and see what happens next. My next step is this. Why don't you just do some research and find the websites of properties that look really good on the OTAs or wherever, and they probably have a contact me, and then you just put it into MailChimp and then email 3,000 people at one shot, right? We have 10,000 emails that we can use a month on MailChimp, and we use 0 of those credits. So remember, email is super, super useful. Our audience tends to be people in their 50s, 60s. They like email. I mean, email is like something that they do every day. They don't TikTok, they don't Snapchat, they don't Instagram. Maybe they do. Claire apparently did do Instagram, which is surprising. But when they make a business decision, it's probably going to be through email, right? If they're going to make a decision to meet you again, it's probably not going to be through an Instagram message. It's probably going to be through email. So email is actually a pretty good source, and it's freely available. All right, so you have this idea. Your next idea is you got technology people in this company who are probably good at scraping emails. So you can probably go over to Video or Buddy and say, hey guys, what if I wanted to do this? What if I wanted to look and find all the emails on the first 100 pages of Google results for the keywords Bali Villa for rent? Can you guys do that for me? And they might say, yeah, I can. And so they generate a freaking shit ton of email addresses for you. Then you plug that into MailChimp, you put our pitch letter into that, and you just one button press, boom, you mass market out to maybe 500-600 people, right? And then you wait and you see what happens. Actually, you shouldn't do that first. You should do an MVP first, right? You should get your messaging correct until you get a high open rate, until you get a high conversion rate, and then you add everybody's email and blast it out, and then you get an enormously positive response back, right? So you're on to, I think, the beginnings of it, and I encourage you to keep on exploring this idea.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir, for the advice. So, for my suggestion itself, I would consider about this four aspect of what the audience and message, timing, and channel. For the channel itself, it's not only on the OTA itself. It could be on like Google Maps, probably at the Google search. Yeah, so many channels that we have that not only OTA, right? So you can consider these 4 aspects as well. Okay, for Mas Rizal, do you have you understand? Are you clear?
Yes, pretty clear, and I'm trying to MVP on the next.
Okay, thank you very much, Mas Rizal. Okay, for the next is from Aldo, from Joy, the opportunity on Airbnb Analytics.
Yes,
Aldo.
thank you, Mas Gani. So Joy messaged us on email of Arab DV. So and he sent to Debug and Bayu and Rizky, but I think they don't see the message. So so Joy try to give us like a meeting that we can understand about the Airbnb analytics about, and also about their new like feature for the metrics and
Yeah, yeah.
and also for understanding the metrics too. And I think it is a very good opportunity. And my question is, how will I invite to these meetings too, except for the marketing teams?
Okay. Okay. For answer your question, this is the good metrics for us to about our OTA and about the client is guest, right? So from my perspective, it will be useful for RM to decide what is the best the best decision that they make based on this analysis. But let's over to the discussion. Over to for Jing probably. So sir, what do you think?
Excellent. Oh, update everyone. So let me give you an inner chapter update.
Mhm.
One, the RM is now converted to a different name. So RM is now business intelligence. So what business intelligence is pretty much doing the same thing. But what I want you guys to realize is their mission now is to optimize existing systems we have inside the company. So business intelligence can help Gani get a higher conversion rate. Business intelligence can help Aldo get more done with the same amount of hours per week on outreach. Business intelligence can help us create more, we get more effect, more results for every hour that we work here. That's kind of like the general idea around business intelligence, okay? And you're absolutely correct. This is a business intelligence discussion.
Mhm.
And I think this could also be a very good
Yeah.
brand awareness or marketing discussion because this could be educational that way. We
Okay.
have a particular thread here that I guess I'm in charge of, initiative around using data-driven decision making. So I guess we can go there.
Okay.
In general, we want to have a data culture. So if anybody else is interested in this, they can also kind of see how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. So over to Aldo. Are you clear right now? So my suggestion is just bring it to business intelligence discussion. Okay, on the last one is for me. So I propose to separate through between the content request and marketing. So you know the board itself is pretty messy right now. So we need to decide there is a content task here and then there is the initiative like that. So it's not only us but outside the chapter is pretty confused, right, to see this board. So I propose to separate over to guys. Do you agree to separate the board itself or just keep like this? So if you agree, just raise your hand.
Agree.
Mark, Tara, Hasbi, do you agree?
I'm not sure how we're going to separate it because I think there are some overlaps also, and there's a lot of things to sort out.
Okay, okay. So since I proposed this idea, I will try to make a new board like for example like this MVP, just like I will write down the structure like this, like general mission, initiative, marketing funnel, done, and embedded, just like that. And then let's compare this board on content request and the board like I made. Yeah. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, Haspi, they're completely separate. So initiatives are projects that we're working on. Content requests are tasks. So they have very different. They have actually very different flow. They very rarely overlap. Initiatives are more like long term, stretched out. A lot of things to push it. Tasks are very short. They're like cooking a hamburger versus designing a menu, right? So that would be the analogy.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir. Okay, I think yes, over to Mo.
Actually, I see that he did building case management and then they're moving to Trello. Maybe you can discuss with VD if what we call, yeah, since we're gonna separate it, like maybe in the future, if one like request one bigger, so maybe can integrate it.
Macam. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's good idea. Thank you very much for the suggestion.
No.
Okay, so I think that's it. The Scrum meeting today. Okay, for the next Scrum, we still have a homework about the SLA, and let's discuss about long-term results. So I think that's it. What the time minute is finished. Okay. Do we still have a feedback? Or is it time over? Okay. Okay. So I will finish the meeting itself. Okay. Okay, guys.